Hey, welcome into Dizneyverse Fantasy Football League. I'm your host, Alex, aka Redbeard Variant. If you are stumbling upon us, this is our Week 13 review, and we're going to be looking forward to Week 14 as well, getting close to playoffs. And if you don't know what this is, hey, you found us. This is a fantasy football recap for my league, which is the Dizneyverse Fantasy Football League. What is Dizneyverse? We are a Disney history podcast. We record episodes every week, release them on Mondays, and we go over anything Disney, from a ride to a character to a movie, talk about the history, and have a lot of laughs along the way. We have a league made up of our Patreons for our podcast, and in order to keep the league alive and keep everyone interested, I wanted to put together a weekly show recapping what has happened and what is going on. So, without anything else, let's get into the week in review. All right, so first game we're going to look at is Team Kalina versus Stroop Do Whoop. And what we have here is a blowout. Kalina looks like she still has Godwin here. So I don't think she's making any changes to her lineup. She has Judy on her bench, which was the top wide receiver on the bench. So that's unfortunate for her because Judy scored 36. Williams scored 26. I don't think I'll put Williams over Stroud, but anyways, those Godwin over Judy. I mean, that alone brings you from 73 to 109. Still lose, but it brings you closer. So yeah, not gonna look at too much about this. Stroop Do Whoop scored 112, which is great. Good for you, Stroop Do Whoop. You are active. You are changing your lineup, and you are doing really well. Unfortunately, Firemuth was on your bench. He was the top tight end sitting on a bench, Firemuth, with his 68 yards and a touchdown. And so you got a really good job. I mean, it also helps that you had Njoku, who scored 21, and Allen scored 21. Like, those are great jobs by them. But then you go over to Josh Allen, who, just was the top quarterback of what? That says Jaden Daniels. What is happening here? I have the wrong person there. Josh Allen was the top quarterback. No, wait, I'm confused. Let me look here. So I get these from the players here. Quarterback. Let's go to week 13. And let's go to stats. And we'll go to not free agent, actually. We're going to go to take that off. And let's go to quarterback, Josh Allen. Yeah, Josh Allen was the top quarterback. Somehow I had it all mixed up. I stayed home sick today. So I did this at home, and usually I'm at work when I do it. So I have that all saved there. But Josh Allen was the top quarterback of the week. He had fun in the snow, hitting a triple crown with 2 throwing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown, racking up 28.4 points. I saw that highlight for his receiving touchdown. That is not a receiving touchdown. That was another rushing touchdown. The player passed it back to him, and he ran for a touchdown. That is not a pass. That's a backwards handoff kind of thing. A pass has to be a forward action. That was a backwards action. So don't know why it was designated a receiving touchdown, but good for him. I mean, he had a really good game in the snow. So shoot, the 112, good for him. Got that win, moved to 7-6. Kalina's 7-6 as well, and he's gonna have that tie advantage because Team Kalina has stopped scoring very high, and Shoot Group has scored very high last few weeks. Moving on to our next one, not going to look too much because we know East High Wildcats is not active as well. Just look at his starter and quarterback, not even doing anything. Other side, Big Beautiful Diz scored 100 points, 8-5, had a pretty decent week. Hawkins didn't do much, Metcalf didn't do much, Lamb didn't do much, but Higgins did well, and it was a good week for got that W. Unfortunately, Jameis Winston was the top quarterback on the bench. He almost had 500 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns for 36 points, or 35.98 to be exact. So he had a really good game. Kind of. I mean, he had a good game, but also he threw, I think, 3 interceptions. Yeah. And I think someone said like the interceptions alone were like almost 70 yards when you add up how much they returned the yards for. So his total yards is way over 200, almost 300 at that point. So Big Beautiful Diz, played pretty well. Henry had a bad game. A lot of bad games. Hopefully that means playoffs. Your team is going to be on fire. Next, we have Lady Champs versus 51st Legion. This was supposed to be a close game, but Lady Champs scored 142 fantasy points. Her best player was Brock Bowers, who was our top tight end of the week. Brock Bowers went ahead and scored 25.2 points by catching 10 catches, with 1 being a touchdown. Those 10 catches got him 140 yards. Pickens had a good day as well. Jefferson, great floor. Cook good, A-Chain good, Mayfield good, decent. Pittsburgh defense 17 against the Bengals. Hopkins did well. Like everyone did well on their team. That's how you score 142 points. So good for her. Went to 10-3. 51st Legion dropped to 5-8. 103 is no joke. Like you had a good week. You just went against a juggernaut. Don't know why Disley's here in your tight end spot. I thought you were. You know what? Disley was a weird thing. He was out there for 63 snaps. He had only one target through the whole game. It's crazy. I had Disley in a league, 32-man league, but I still had him playing. And yeah, 0 points is not expected. Let's see. Was your tight end on a? Yeah, Pitts did nothing as well, which is crazy. Yeah. Huh. You maybe hit the waivers for another tight end because I don't think Disley Pitts is going to be it for the playoffs. If you make the playoffs, that is. Wow, you benched Hurts for Mayfield, and it did not pay off for you. You still won though, but did not pay off for you. Yeah, I think Lady of Champs is having some good time with her starting lineup back in, and scoring 150 points is quite a bit. Not happy to go against her in the playoffs, that's for sure. Next, we have Noni Fred Scott versus Kuda Matata. This was a very close game. Difference of about 3. Kuda Matata scored 136.6, and Noni Fred Scott scored 133.42. And, the quarterbacks were about 2 points difference. Running back with 2 points difference. Here was the big difference right here. You think right here, you could look at this and be like, oh, man, Noni Fred Scott is won, right? Look at that, 17-8. 19-17, 19-17, 15-17, 17-9. He should win. And then you get down to his tight end and flexes. And look at the difference. Najee Harris had a great, best game of his season this season against the Bengals. 21.9 points. And the Chargers defense scored 20 points as well. That's because the Chargers defense was the top defense of the week. Chargers defense went ahead and scored 20 points. They forced a fumble and 4 interceptions, with one of them being returned for a touchdown. But over here we got Denver. They scored 20 points as well. Wow, look at that. 3 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 2 touchdowns as well. So that was pretty crazy. They had exactly 20 points each, both pretty much the top defenses. I set this up on Monday before Monday night game. Did not expect Denver to put up 20 fantasy points against the Browns. So that was surprising. This was a really good game. I'm happy Hakuna Matata won because they're now 7-6 instead of 6-7. And Dizneyverse Scott is 9-4, which is fine because he's gonna make the playoffs for sure. Look at Tua on the bench with 25. That's really nice. Thielen on the bench for 19. Henry on the bench with 11. Wow. So yeah, it was a really good matchup. Really good matchup. Can't wait to look forward to week 14 and see what's going on with those teams. Next, we have King of the North versus Team Maverick Miggs. Really close game again. 2 points. Very close. And we look at what's the matchup here is Love, Jackson, Taylor, Pollard right there. I mean, that shows you that Team Maverick Miggs is going to win. Quarterback and first running back. Both running backs, Tech and running backs did terrible. McCaffrey hurt again. He's done for the year. So he's got to get out of your lineup there. We'll look at that later, but he's done. And, oh, man, you still have Smith in your team, and you still won Maverick Miggs. Oh, my gosh. I don't know if you're thinking Smith's going to play because they're projecting him to come back by now. I don't know what's going on here. But you still won despite being out a player, so that's crazy. Let's see here. Where did you score so much? Not bad here, not bad here, not bad here, not bad here, not bad here. It's right here, that 10 points right there. That's the difference. Okay. Next we have Historians versus King Heavyweights. So like I said, I'm sick, so I'm trying to speed her along so I'm not sneezing and sniffling in the microphone. We have... my eyes are watering here. Historians versus Heavyweights. Close game. I mean, 7 points is pretty close. Look at here. Barkley with 18. Walker and Pacheco both did do well. And if we get down to your bench here, Thomas is there with 16. Unfortunately, not to have him starting instead of Tank Dell. I think I said that you need to start starting Thomas instead of Dell. If you would have made that change, you would have won this week. So, you know, probably should start listening to me. Because I definitely think I said that you need to start Thomas instead of Dell because Dell floor is not as high as Thomas. But now, next week, I don't know because they're having a backup quarterback for the rest of the season probably. So who knows now, honestly. But yeah, it was a close game. It was I was actually worried going into Monday Night Football because the Denver Broncos were playing so well, but Bo Nix's points wasn't that crazy. I mean, he had 2 interceptions and only 1 touchdown. So the running game really was doing it for them and the defense. And so I was worried that I'm sorry. I was worried I was not going to win that game. Let's see here. Bench-wise, I would have had their best players other than Thomas. And then I picked up Dallas defense to play them, and I forgot to switch them out. If I would have lost because of that, because I was not planning on playing Detroit versus Chicago, I wanted to play Dallas versus the Giants. And if I lost because of that, that would have been so upsetting because I grabbed the Dallas defense in order to play them. Play that. So, all right. That's the review of week 13. Let's look ahead at week 12. All right, week 14. Let's look a quick look at here. Let's look at standings really fast as well. So, standings, we got a tie for first place, Historians and Lady of the Champs. So, that's nice. Dizneyverse Scott is only off by 1. So, if we lose and he wins, it looks like I would be dropping down to third place. And Dizneyverse Scott and Lady of the Champs would be 1 and 2 for the bye. And I would not be in the bye. Oh, no, I'm looking at points against points 4, actually. Looks like it's pretty close. It's only 4. Looks like if we lose and he wins, will still be 1-2. So Historians and Lady of Champs will get that first round bye. Then we got None of Your Friends Scott, Big Beautiful Diz, and then we have 7-6, 7-6, and 7-6. 3 teams tied for that 5th, 6th spot. And then heavyweight 6-7. So he needs a win. One of these teams loses 1, 2, 4, 3. He hopes Kalina loses, which is very likely because she's not changing her lineup. And he's hoping he wins and he'll go into that 7th spot. I don't think you'll get enough to overtake Stroop de Whoop. So looks like heavyweights is going to just miss the playoffs, which is unfortunate for you. But hey, it's a lot of these people first year playing fantasy football, so they really had no idea what they're doing drafting. I mean, that's why we look at the points for it's so different. I mean, also I know we have people not changing lineups because they got disinterested halfway through the year, but if that's why I'm over here scoring 1,500 and they're scoring 1,200. I mean, that's quite a big difference. It's like, I don't know what the average difference is there, but they just didn't know how to draft properly. But they all, tried their best, and it was a fun season. I can't wait for next year when they're a little more seasoned. And I think it'll be a lot closer next year because it's pretty close to this year. I mean, we got 3 people fighting for the last 2 spots for playoffs. So that's good fantasy football right there. Big People Diz could lose, but I think points for he'd still be above them all. So I don't think he'll drop out of the 4th spot at all. And if None of Your Friends Scott loses and Beautiful Diz wins, there is a chance they could flip because of the points for. 8 points is not that much a difference. All right, let's look at the matchups. We got Kalina versus Big Beautiful Diz, and it looks like Beautiful Diz is going to walk away with this one because Kalina's probably not going to change the lineup. She has Stroud on bye. She has Godwin injured. And yeah, so Big Beautiful Diz is going to win that one. Anything he should do on his end for the next week? Mooney, what's Mooney been doing lately? A lot of percentage, not a lot of stuff. Quarterback Mooney, Cousins has been so bad as of late. He was playing so well in the first half of the year, and then now he's just kind of dropped off. So that hurts Mooney a lot. Other than that, not much on the bench. You have a lot of people on bye, so you already got your lineup set up for the best lineup you can have, and you're all set. Just watch those questions for Jacobs, Lambs, and Metcalf, but I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, even because you're playing Kalina. Next is Stroop versus East Hall Wildcats. Again, Stroop's going to win this one easily. Only projected 75 points, which is not great. You have Nico Collins in your lineup with a bye, so you need to change that. And you have Houston defense with a bye. You have San Francisco put in Chicago. I'd probably look at free agents for defense on that week, and I would put Freiermuth. That's a wide receiver slot. I would move Samuel in wide receiver slot. That way you can do anything for Collins. Put Hall back in your lineup for sure. Instead of Singletary, and then put Freiermuth as your flex, or even Worthy as your flex. Worthy could do something. He had 7 catches last week, so it's not crazy. He was on the field for more than half. Kind of dropped off a little bit since Hopkins went there, but I think I'd put Freiermuth as your flex because Cleveland's defense is kind of bad, and Freiermuth is on the field a lot. So just potential of a high ceiling. I think he has a better chance. So, all right. Moving on. Ooh, what happened here? League 14. Okay. Heavyweights versus Lady and the Champs. This is a good one because this is Heavyweights trying to take out one of the top people in order to get himself in the... Oh, no, wait. He's probably projected out. But still try to get that W because you can affect the playoff, settings and stuff. So looks like everyone has their team set up. You need to get Dell out of your flex there. And this would be a great time to put in Thomas, I guess. Still projected 9. Oh, maybe Williams, actually. I think Williams might be better because of the high floor and high ceiling on Williams over Thomas, both the back quarterback. And I would probably put Burrow against Dallas because Dallas Dallas defense has been good last 2 weeks. Monday Night Football, I don't know. I really don't know if I would go golf for Burrow at this point. Bengals season's kind of over. So, anyways, I think this is a pretty good lineup. Everyone's got their best lineup set up. It looks like Hurts over Mayfield for sure, especially against Carolina. And then Komet over Bauer. No. New Orleans over Pittsburgh. No. Winston is throwing picks like crazy, so I'd probably keep. Even though it's a Giants for New Orleans, I think I'd still keep Pittsburgh there. Yeah, I think everyone's got their setup. I think Lady Champs is going to win, unfortunately, and move to 11-3. But Heavyweights picked it up, through the year and is going to finish strong. Hopefully, he can get the upset. Next, we have No New Friend Scott versus Team Maverick Miggs. Team Maverick Miggs is fighting for that playoff spot. And low scoring game for both of them, but look at this Team Maverick Miggs. Bye week. He has defense and tight end on bye, but he has the more important players, RB1 and quarterback on bye. So he made that change. Who does he have? Oh, and Daniels is on bye, so you have to pick with Levis. Oh boy, and you have to throw. Oh, you don't have a running back. Ford. Oh boy, yeah, you're gonna lose this. Unfortunately, No New Friend Scott's gonna walk away with the win. Hopefully, No New Friend Scott gets on here and changes his lineup. Puts in Henry's on bye too. Oh my gosh, you didn't set up your tight ends. And you don't have another defense. You have to go get a tight end and a defense for this week. At this point, I probably would drop Hunt. Yeah. I would drop Hunt and Tillman and grab the players you need. No New Friend Scott's definitely going to win this and move to 10-4. That's for sure. And then we got King of the North versus Kuda Matata. And let's look through here. McCaffrey is done for the year. Got to get him out. Andrews on bye. Got to get him out. Stevenson's on bye. Got to get him out. Pittman's on bye. Got to get him out. And that leaves you with not much in your bench. Boy, people do not have enough bench players. That's for sure. Definitely a free agent market for running back because you don't look like you have a running back you can really utilize. Akers is not doing much as a backup for Minnesota, and you don't have any others. White is out. Could come back, I guess, and play if Madison doesn't play and White does. Maybe White's a start. I don't think so though. Yeah. Dubs is out. Oh, limited in practice. He probably should start this week, so he could be a start in your flex spot over Pittman for sure. And it looks at the other side. Other side, you had, who do you have? Kumatata. You have your flex, and that's it. Yeah, and your flex can easily be Coleman, Robinson, Ferguson, or other Robinson. So any three, whoever's playing, out, questionable, out. So whatever one ends up playing, just throw them in there, I guess. You're projected to win by a lot already, and I think you are going to win and move to 8-6. So it'll be good to figure out who's going to win this whole thing. Then we have Dizneyverse Legion versus Historians. And look at this. I did not set my lineup yet, so I'll do it right now. Let's go back to my team. Bo Nix is on bye. We're going to go ahead and grab Russell Wilson, who's been playing amazing. And Detroit's playing Green Bay versus Dallas playing Cincinnati. I really don't want to play. Oh, I could just drop Dobbins. He is done for the year. I think he'll come back, actually, so maybe I'll hold on to him. Do I want to play Kincaid? Probably not. He hasn't really done much this year. 6, 11, 5, 3. Projected 8. Johnny Smith has been pretty good. And so I think I'm going to stick with Johnny Smith. Robinson's on bye. Let's go ahead and add Gus Edwards, who, let's see, how was his percentage? 52%. Not amazing. Who played for that team? Was it Vital? Did Vital do it? 26? Not really. Haskins, 15. And Dobbin. Okay, so they really just let everybody play? Not really. 4 carries. That's 6 carries. He just had 6 carries? Wait, what? As an offense, their running backs had 12 carries in a game? That can't be right. How does that make sense? Edwards, 6 carries. Vital, 5 carries. That's That's 11 right now. And then 2 carries. That's 13 carries. As a team, 1 carry. As a team, they had 12 carries. That's insane. How much did Justin Herbert throw the ball? 23 times. Not even that high compared to other times. I don't understand. Anyways, guess Edwards should be the start there. Everyone else is on bye, so I really have no other options. So I'm fine with that. Ridley, St. Brown, Walker, Barkley, Wilson. Good. Print it. Let's go back to the league. 14. And there we go. Now projected 102 versus 51st Legion's 91. And he has his lineup except for his defense. And he doesn't have a defense, so go pick one up. And that, I think everyone else on your lineup is set. Disley is your tight end. You don't have any other tight end really to play, unfortunately. Maybe pick one up if you can, because Disley just gave you a goose egg. So it'd be nice not to have to rely on him again. Let's see here. You defense, yeah, defense. So I think I'm gonna win and move to 11-3 and tie with the Lady and the Champs and end up getting that number 1 seed going to playoffs. But let's see 51st Legion's options at free agency. Nope. And this one. Top free agents. All right, so let's look at top free agents for some of these people. So first, let's look at defense. Tampa Bay's playing Las Vegas. Tennessee's playing Jacksonville. Cincinnati's playing Dallas. I would definitely target Jacksonville because they're going to have a backup quarterback this week. And Tennessee's not as... I mean, they've been an okay defense. They're ranked 28th. Actually, they're ranked terribly. Tampa Bay is ranked 20th. Okay. Again, terrible. Cardinals is ranked 12th. So, but Seattle's offense is actually decent. I think I'd still go with Tennessee versus Jacksonville just because that backup. They had a pretty good game. They lost to Washington, but they had a pretty good game against Washington. So, and Washington was just a high-powered offense. So, like Houston, they put up 10. Minnesota put 5. New England 12. So, like, they have a higher floor, I think, than other defenses. So, I would definitely grab them for top defense. Tight end, let's look here. Johnson might be more utilized. 70% this last game. What is his name? He's not even on the roster anymore in this part. Taysom Hill is done for the year. He didn't really play a lot of tight end anyways, but it just means they're gonna have to play differently. So maybe those Taysom Hill handoffs will turn into tight end short passes. So Jawan Johnson might be a good grab. Gray is out. They're playing a lot of 2 tight end sets with Kansas City. So Gray has a lot of high ceiling potential. And then Fant's been playing a lot lately. Still not really producing that much, though. I would definitely think I would go with Johnson if I had to grab a tight end this week. For sure. Wide receiver, Quentin Johnson's still out there. He is not getting the ball a lot. He had a good little run there, 29-11, but since then, not too much for the Chargers. Westbrook and just keeps scoring touchdowns. Look at this. He scored 2 touchdowns last week for 19 fantasy points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns in the last 8 games. That's insane. And they're playing Jacksonville, so he's going to have a lot of chances to score because I don't think Jacksonville's going to do much on offense, which means Tennessee's going to get a chance to do more. Pick him up. Play him. If you need a wide receiver, pick him up and play him. Like, it's insane. He's scoring so many touchdowns. It's ridiculous. Other than that, not much else out there. Maybe McLeod. I mean, his on-field percentage is so high, but the Atlanta Falcons' offense have been not great. Moore is being used more in Cleveland. Like, he had 14 catches last week. I mean, Cleveland threw the ball like crazy amount that game, but he's on the field a good amount. He's like the number 2 right now for that team. So I think Westbrook needs to be on a team if you need a wide receiver, sure. Look at running back. Is he going to start this next week? Let's see. He has 4 carries, 23% of snaps, and everyone above him is hurt. he might be the one to go this next week. He might get a whole bunch of carries. You might want to grab him and put him on your roster. Other than that, Spears is not doing too much in his backup role. Bigsby is not doing too much in his backup role. And Mostart's not doing too much in his backward role. So, yeah, I think if you need a flyer, maybe grab him and just hope for the best. I think that's the best thing you can do. And for quarterback, Rodgers had a decent game. 15 points is a good ceiling. So if you need a quarterback, I would consider playing him. I don't think I would want to grab Lawrence's backup, who is, what is his name? Wolford? No, that's not right. Didn't they just get somebody? Jones. Mac Jones is his backup. Look at 20 fantasy points last time he played. So maybe grab him and let's see what happens there. Bryce Young's out there, and he's been playing really well last 2 weeks, so he should definitely be on a roster. So I would go Young more than anything else, especially maybe now against Philadelphia. That being defense is going to cook. Rodgers for high floor. What's his name? Where is he at? Mac Jones for high ceiling. That's what I would do. So, yeah. I don't think Jacksonville could do much against Tennessee, but you never know. You never know. So that would be the players I would go after. We're getting near the end. We got one more week left, right? Week 14. Week 15 is playoffs, right? Yep, week 15 is first round playoffs. So last week of the season, it's been a lot of fun. Remember that top user it's not myself, gets a free shirt. So that's awesome. So keep it up, and I'll catch you around next week.